Hi guys, so this is another pick a card for what the Akashic Records want to tell you guys about May, but this is to do with purpose. So everything the Akashic Records want to tell you in May about purpose and your purpose. So as always, we've got 3 for you to choose. Make sure to check out the other videos for May's Akashic Records. We've got general, purpose, love and money, but let's go straight onto this. So is the answer or is the question, or whatever, the message from the Akashic Records for you in May about purpose in this message? Message number 1. Is it in message number 2? Or is it in message number 3? Cool, so we're going to go straight on to message number 1. Hey guys, so this is everybody that chose message number 1 and your answer in here. So this is what the Akashic Records most want you to know about purpose for you in May. So I'm going to try and not do any channeling and just go straight in so we get the messages a lot quicker. But obviously if anything does come up, I will just say it. Yeah, so basically straight away I'm seeing a spider totem. So I really do feel like, well, there's a couple of messages with this. So some of you guys, you're going to have to rely on your intuition or your psychic abilities to help you on the next step or the path with your purpose. So maybe I feel like things are quite either clouded or they're not clear at the moment, or there's a very specific message that you're not hearing to do with the purpose in your life right now and what direction to take or what's the next step to take. So definitely pay attention to your intuition. And also with that spider totem, I do really feel they're all about creating their past, present and future and weaving it all together. So I feel like something to do with your purpose is very much connected to what has happened to you, where you're at to do with it now. And it's really important that you also use your past to leverage where you're currently at to get you to your future. So if there's a part of you that is not happy about something that happens in your past, it's important to resolve that now. But equally for some of you, if say you had a particular skill or you had a particular ability that was very strong in the past, or it's a big part of your past identity, make sure you bring the best characteristics and qualities from that skill or ability into your present to create your future, particularly in May. That's kind of like really important. So let's see what we get. I'm not going to read anything reversed. Okay, so we have the what's this? The 5 of Cups to start with. Then we have the, I've just realised I'm reading these upside down. I thought this was weird for you guys. I think I need to show it you like that. Yeah. So then we also have the, what is this? 4 of Pentacles. No, 6 of Pentacles. Whoa, wait a minute. I have to say right now, I've come in straight away and I feel confused with this reading. And I did already say I thought there could be some confusion going on. And that's why you have to listen to your intuition. I do feel like something is kind of like upside down, or you're seeing it back to front. I think you're seeing something back to front to do with your purpose, and you just need to reorientate yourself so you see it exactly as it is, rather than almost through a smoke and a mirror, if that makes sense, which then kind of twists the image a little bit. So I think that is actually a really, really important message. And I do actually feel if any of you are feeling a little bit down to do with your direction in life at the moment or where things are going, then I do really feel like I feel like it's just because you've got this crossed wires. You're seeing something in a warped perspective. You're not seeing the truth of what is going on. And it's making you feel unhappy in some way to do with wherever you're going to do with your purpose. And I'm kind of seeing like the whole kind of thing of, you know, when you go on those really weird fairground rides and they've got those mirrors that distort all the images and everything. I feel there's that sort of distortion going on. And I feel like it's been going on for a little while. And I do think for a lot of you, it's got something to do with money in some way. And how you're feeling about your own self-worth. So if you already have a lot of money, I feel like it's about how you're seeing your own self-worth. Just check in that you're not making some choices that actually somebody makes when they don't truly value who they are or what they have to offer. And if you don't have a lot of money at the moment, then just know as well, this is something to do with how you see your own self, to do with your financial situation. But you're seeing it, you're focusing on something which, this card usually means you're focusing on something that's negative, but I'm getting the very clear message that you're just focusing on a distortion, and therefore you're not seeing something the way that it really is. Yeah, now let's just see what we have here. So then we have the Magician. Such a cool card, I love this. We also have, oh wow, we have the Ace of Pentacles. So the Magician and the Ace of Pentacles together, I do really feel like they're a really powerful combination for you making a very, very distinctive new, I'm hearing course correction to do with your purpose in whatever way that might be. And then we also have the Knight of Pentacles. But obviously with the Knight of Pentacles coming through, I think it's important to remember you've got to pace yourself with this. With wherever you're at to do with your purpose, you need to pace yourself. You know, like particularly with the B as well, not only do you need to pace yourself, but you also need to make sure you're making the correct collaborations with people. And that reminds me of this card as well, Six of Pentacles. Make sure when it comes to your purpose, you are either working with or being supported by or taking advice from people that really see what's going on, and they don't also see the distortion that you're seeing. So I guess you need to make sure that these people don't have the same limiting beliefs that you do about self-worth and self-value. That's super key, and that's a super clear message. Like I'm hearing it just like bish bash bosh, and in all honesty, that's your reading done. But I mean, I'm obviously going to carry on because I'm sure we'll get more. But what I'm trying to say is that is just super important, and it's so relevant to everything that's going off in May, because you need to be really careful that you don't get lost in this distortion of seeing something in a completely warped way to do with your purpose. But this purpose very much feels like about your own self-worth and self-value. So it feels like for a lot of you, this is to do with money. And for those that have money, like I said before, this is to do with like how much you really value yourself, and how much you really do respect yourself. It's these kind of things. And I do also feel like in May, there's the opportunity with the Magician and the Ace of Pentacles to really make a big, I did hear like course correct originally, and I do still feel like it's course correct for a lot of you, but it also feels like, what does it feel like? I'm gonna flip them again. Why do I keep flipping these cards? It feels like, you see, with those me picking them up and flipping them, again, I feel this is a little bit confusing. I do think you just need to be super on it for anything in May that you're seeing in a clouded way. But I'm also hearing for some of you, you might have had this distortion about yourself and who you are for quite a long time, but it's now coming to some kind of like, there's some kind of breakthrough moment coming, and it's going to be super positive for you. And I do also feel like, in all honesty, I'm just going to have to say what I see, right? Because otherwise, what is the point in a reading? I do feel like some of you have definitely been collaborating with people, or have had people around you that are, they're either got the same limiting beliefs as you, which isn't going to be helpful for you right now, or they drain your energy in some way, a bit like a vampire type of thing, or you just both reinforce each other's issues in some way. And some of you will reinforce them with each other in a way that means you collaborate in an unhealthy way, and it takes you both of you totally off piece. And some of you will be doing this in a way that actually flares stuff up and causes a lot of arguments. So it's different for different people. But I do feel like when you get this readjustment and reassessment of your own sense of self-worth and self-value to do with your purpose, to do with what it is you're here to do, or what is going to give you the greatest amount of meaning, then I do feel like you're going to find there's a whole load of new people or new connections that are going to start to come in as a result. or also new opportunities, because I'm also hearing that for a lot of you it's about there being some unhealthy collaborations going off. But for those of you that actually listened to that list of things I said and were like, none of that is relevant, just consider then it's some opportunities around you that actually they're presenting as positive and helpful, but they're actually not, or at least they're not anymore. You've outgrown them. I feel like there is a lot of outgrowing. I feel like there's a lot of outgrowing in this pile to do with purpose. So it's definitely ready for you to start to make some new choices, take some new actions with this Magician and the Ace of Pentacles. And also with the frog on it, I always know that frogs are very much to do with, what are they to do with? Like clearing out clutter. They clear stuff out. And I also know there's that shamanic medicine that you can have, and I can't think what it's called. I feel like it's some sort of frog poison, I think, and I can't think what it's called. But again, that basically you take this frog's poison with like a shaman or something, and it helps you to purge out a whole load of limiting beliefs and that sort of thing. But I feel like this is about you either clearing out some people in your lives that are not making sense, some collaborations, or some situations or scenarios. So you'll have to work out which one is relevant to you. Now I'm just going to pull a couple of other cards, and then there's going to be a wild card for you to choose at the end. Okay, 2 want to come out. Fine. Okay. So we have, okay, the Hermit. And we also have, oh wow, the Rescuer. Okay, so the instant thing that comes out with these cards as well is just make sure there's no codependency going off between you and another person, or you and a collaboration, or you and a situation, because this isn't just to do with a person. This could also be to do with, like I say, a situation, a scenario, or some kind of situation you're in life to do with your purpose. Just make sure you haven't got any kind of like codependencies in some way, because it's draining your energy. And the thing is, I'm really hearing clearly, like, you know, this isn't about, you are your own rescuer, basically. You are going to resolve this situation yourself and make it happen. It's totally in on you. And you're going to do that by really like digging a lot deeper into who it is you really are and why you're here, and like what is really, really important to you. I feel like when you work out what is really, really important to you, then it becomes very clear to know what new action to take. And then it becomes very clear who to collaborate and who not to. And then it becomes very clear what is the next step in a situation or scenario. It does really feel like there is a lot of the answers inside you, which there are anyway. But in May, it feels like it's going to be a lot easier for you to tap into that space and get that awareness. But the very first step is you absolutely have to make sure that you are not seeing things through a distorted mirror, that you're not seeing yourself through a distorted mirror, or another person, or a situation or scenario. Cool. So that's what's going on there. I'm just going to pull one more card. This is just for you to interpret yourself. It's a wild card, so you can make this reading more your own. So let's see what we get. Okay. So you get time, discipline. Cool, so if you need to, you can pause that video so you can look at that card for longer. But I hope that was helpful for you, for just like a little insight of what to be most mindful of in May to do with purpose. And this is from your Akashic Records. So cool, hope you enjoyed that. Please feel free to check out any of the other May Akashic Record readings. We've got love, money, general and purpose. And I'll speak to you guys soon. Bye. Hi guys, so this is everybody that chose message number 2 for what your Akashic Records want to tell you about purpose and your life purpose and your goals, etc. in May. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go straight out with the cards, and I'm going to try and not do any channeling so we can just get straight into the messages. But obviously if something does pop up, then I will obviously mention it. Ooh, this is a bit different. Okay. So interestingly, I'm feeling instantly that you guys have a choice to make about 2 different ways to move forward. I'm actually hearing that both can work, but one is going to make you a lot more happier than the other, and one is going to bring you a lot more success quicker. So it feels like, and it's nice to know, but I suppose there's never, the Akashic Records always often says there's never really a wrong way. There's just different ways about going about the same thing, and that kind of thing is coming in. But obviously we want you to leverage as much as you possibly can and get where you want to go the quickest. So let's work out what that is. So, oh, I love this card. Okay, so the first card we open up with is Judgment. So that's pretty big, straight in there, like boom, like the last, or I think it's the last major arcana. I should know that. It's very close to the end if it's not the last. So yeah, so this feels like, but wait, I'm going to turn them all over first of all. Then we have Nine of Pentacles. Okay, then we have the Sun. Then we have Page of Wands. And then we have bridging this. Oh wow, the Emperor. Okay, so literally more than half of the cards are major arcanas. And they feel big. And they definitely feel big ones to do with purpose. Like I always feel like the Emperor is like this masculine energy drive. So regardless of your gender, it's kind of that masculine energy that we have within us, where we want to take something inside us and project it outside to create and collaborate something new. And that feels like that's a massive energy that's going on for everybody that chose this pile. But interestingly, it feels like it's between two choices. Now, you know how I said from the beginning, there's two choices. One will get you there quickest, one will get you there fastest. I instantly know this is the way to get there the quickest. This one will take longer. So let's work out what they are so that you know what to do. This is quite cool, actually. This is really quite a different reading to the other message that I had. So I'm going to do this slightly differently. So, okay, I'm super intrigued. So I just need to know, what is these then? We'll clarify each of these. And in fact, now we know what the Emperor card is, I'm putting it there at the top. Because this is also really important and pivotal for you guys in May to do with purpose. That I do know with the Emperor coming out. Because if I probably had to choose one card in the entire deck to do with purpose in physical reality, I'd probably go with this card, the Emperor, but just on an energetic level, right? So it's not about gender. It's just about that true masculine principle and what it does. So let's see. So we have Two of Cups supporting the Sun card. Then we have the Hierophant supporting the Judgment card. And we have Two of Swords supporting the Nine of Pentacles, and we have Wheel of Fortune supporting the Page of Wands. Okay, so what I can instantly tell you is the scenario on this side, the one which will still get you there but will be more complicated and not as emotionally enjoyable, this involves a lot of instability and being like really stubborn about what you think is the right thing to do, but then at the same time having inner conflict about what it is you're being stubborn about. So pay attention to whatever that is. And I really can't say that again because that just felt like it came out of the records just like bam. So if you need to rewind that. And like I say, this also feels like this other pathway here, the one that's not going to take you there as quickest, there's something quite naive and childish about it. And it feels like, again, there's with the Wheel of Fortune here, I just get the feeling like it's keep changing your mind about what it is that you need to be doing and how you need to go about doing it. It's like changing the mind. And it's also like keep following like, the shiny thing. It's like keep following the shiny thing, getting mesmerized by the shiny thing. So I feel like it also feels like this pathway is going to originally look like the easiest pathway. It's going to be quite enticing in some way. And you're going to feel like, but you're also going to feel quite confused about it, and you're going to change your mind about it, and you're going to slip between feeling really confident about yourself to do with it and then really unconfident about yourself to do with it, and you're going to keep flipping like that. So that is how I can describe that pathway to do with your purpose. So if this is relevant in any way to what's going to be coming up to you in May, pay attention that this is going to be a more challenging pathway to follow. So if any of these things are coming up, like getting distracted by something shiny, or seeing what you think is an easy route, or flipping between confident and unconfident, and a lot of indecision, and there being a lot of like fast movements that don't really get anywhere, that is telling you that scenario is occurring. And I'd probably do this one basically, but it is up to you, because it's all choices. It's all just choices and experiences, and whichever one you have. And this is really what the records are saying as well. Like it said in the beginning, it really doesn't matter which pathway you'll choose, because you'll learn interesting things here and you'll learn interesting things here. One ride will be more bumpy and chaotic, one ride will be more smooth and faster, but either way you will still get what you need out of it. So, but anyway, now let's go on to this one, because I'm all about less for more. I much prefer that scenario. So let's just see what this is. So just give me a moment while I feel into it. Okay, well, the funny is, when I saw the Two of Cups come out, like obviously instantly I did just think, oh, this is about a collaboration in some way. This is about, for you to get further in your pathway on your purpose. It really is about making, and again, actually with all of these cards here, all of these here are just basically saying, and let me say this in different ways, because obviously there's quite a lot of you listening, so it'll be different things for all of you. This is basically saying, there is a person or people that is pivotal to taking you further forward on your pathway right now. And it's a soul contract that you guys have. Or it's basically, if you don't want to call it like a soul contract, because some people find that limiting, it is an anchoring point that you have with this purpose that will help create the stability, understanding, insight, awareness, space holding, opportunity, whatever, because it's different for all of you, which becomes a real anchoring for then you to propel yourself forward to do with whatever your purpose is. But I am also going to tell you, whoever this person is, at times it could be slightly triggering. At times it could be slightly triggering. And the reason why I say that is the Judgment card. Because the Judgment card always requires some kind of step up in consciousness, or step up in belief system, or step up in emotional intelligence, or some kind of step up. And quite often a step up can be a little bit uncomfortable. And definitely because this Emperor energy is very certain and sure about the direction to go, that sometimes when an energy comes to the Emperor and says, hey, Emperor, maybe think about it this way, or think or feel like maybe consider it this way, the Emperor energy won't always like it, because the Emperor energy likes to think he always knows what's best and he is in control. This way it feels like you're going to have to relinquish a bit of control, both to your own consciousness, because you need to allow this change in, or this step up in your emotional intelligence or physical reality within action, or within your own psychology. There has to be this step up. And that will be, the cards tell me, like with the Sun card and the Two of Cups, that it won't be hard, but the hard bit will be saying yes. And as soon as you say yes, everything else will be easy. But for some of you, the hard thing will be saying yes. But this is definitely the more joyful pathway to go. And it's the pathway that will take you where you need to go the quickest. It's just that it is going to require you to relinquish a little bit of control. You're going to have to slightly surrender to the collaboration of someone else or something else. And they may tell you something, or they may give you the sensations that can feel tiny little bit uncomfortable, because it means you have to slightly grow who you are and what you are. But I'm absolutely seeing that this is categorically the way to go forward in May to do with your purpose. Cool. Okay, I'm just going to pull a couple more, and then I'm going to pull a wild card just for you guys to interpret yourself. Wow, okay, that flipped out straight away. That's interesting. The Hermit came out on the other pile 1. Oh wow, okay, I always use this as a proper, whatever this card is, the one I put on top of this is super, super important. I always use this as like a charging card. because to be honest, I never could be asked to read the book and tell me what it actually meant. So I just thought, oh, I'll just make it up. And it works, so you know. Right, let's see, what's this one? Okay. Right, so this one is coming up as super, super important. Okay, so just make sure you're not going to be seduced. Again, this is talking to me about this thing. You know, when I told you earlier, something might come in, it will seem like the easy option, or it will seem like it's really like shiny, like a shiny thing, or a shiny person, or a shiny situation comes in, but there's going to be no depth to that person or situation. There's going to be no substance, and because there's no substance, it can cause a lot of instability and therefore a lot of confusion internally for you, and it will cause your confidence, this strong Emperor position in you. You'll keep going into different, feeling confident, not, and that's going to be highly unstable for your psychology and not help move forward. So I do kind of feel like this card is just re-emphasizing that, which is that other pathway that I told you that could be opening up for some of you that you need to be mindful of. And then interestingly then, with this Hermit card and falling on this side, I do feel again that this is really just about you. You've got to listen to your inner guidance, listen to your inner soul. Because if this personal situation is going to come in and give you a message or try and support you in a certain type of way, but you are, the message that they come in with is very, it's not that it's heavy, but it's got gravitas. It's got gravitas and it's got real substance to it. And if you're either feeling overconfident or too stubborn, it is going to be difficult for you to let this person in or let this situation in. But if you listen to your inner guidance and your soul, it will really help encourage you to go this way, and that you can trust it, and that you can relinquish some of your control to whatever this is. Cool. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull out one more card for you guys to interpret yourself. It's your wild card, so you can make this reading your own. And definitely, again, because this soul thing is really important right now, I think it's really important whatever message you personally get intuitively from this card is going to support something to do with this. Okay. So obviously if you need to, just pause this video so you can relook at that wild card. I hope you found that useful. Remember to add this reading to the other Akashic Record readings for May. So we have general, love and money. And then I look forward to speaking to you soon. Bye. Hi guys, so this is for everybody that chose message number 3 for what the Akashic Records want to tell you to do with your own purpose in May. So what I'm going to do is I'm going straight into the reading. I'm going to try not to channel anything at all because the readings are a lot quicker. But if anything comes up, I will say it. Make sure also to look out for the other Akashic Record readings for May. We have love, money, and a general one. So then you can put it all together to get your individual reading that's super personalised to you as well. So let's see what's going on. I don't know why I felt the need to sigh there. I feel like relief. So I don't know what has been going on, but I feel like there's a lot of relief that's going to be coming in for you guys in May to do with purpose. So I'm also seeing that, I'm hearing Pilgrim's Progress, but I'm also seeing Atlas Shrugged. And I'm seeing that vision of that guy holding the world on his shoulders. And I know that's quite a political book. I remember reading it such a long time ago, but I really can't remember it now. But I feel like whatever's going on in your purpose right now, you need to be savvy, but in quite a political way. And what I mean by that is, well, actually, what do I mean by that? Let me just turn these over and then we'll see. We have the Hermit card. This is it, on the political side, you've got to be very smart about the decisions that you're making right now, because you've got to kind of create win-wins in multiple different areas to do with your purpose. And some of that might be a little bit tricky in May because somebody or some situation is going to piss you off. But you've got to make sure your main political to do with it. And what I mean by that is like, again, like you need to, don't show all of your cards. Do the poker face thing. In May, whatever your purpose is, whatever comes up to do with another person or a situation, retain the same tone throughout the entire, like, I don't know, the entire, well, the whole of May, retain the same tone with that personal situation. So don't change any of your subtleties, because you've got to almost have like this poker face going on, because you've got to create a win-win. And I'm hearing that one of the ways that you'll do that is by not showing any of your emotional reactions in any way to this person or to this situation. Okay, then we have the Knight of Wands. Then we have the Hierophant. And then we have the King of Swords. You know, the King of Swords, this instantly, and it is in the middle of your reading, this is what I'm saying about this poker face, this be political about something. Oh, wow, and we have the Death card. So that just feels like whatever this situation is that's going to occur to do with a personal situation, to do with your purpose, you are going to get... you've definitely just got to calm yourself to do that. I feel like with the Knight of Wands, there's going to create a lot of internal energy within you. Like I see like your solar plexus, that point of power and confidence and all of that kind of thing is going to get supercharged a little bit over May. And I'm hearing that you just need to make sure that you keep the poker face going. Keep your poker face going. Don't give anything away about how you might be feeling or thinking about something. You've got to kind of... I'm hearing like, and this is ridiculous, but let me just work it through. I'm hearing like you've got to play dead. And what I'm hearing by that is play dead in terms of, again, just don't give away anything about where you're actually at to do with this situation or scenario, or with this person. It's just really important that for whatever reason, they or the situation... Okay, let me get this another way. It feels like that this person's to do with your purpose, or the situation's to do with your purpose, because it's different for everybody, right? Is quite unstable at the moment. It's quite changeable. And if you go in there with some intense energy at some point, it's just going to make this situation even more unstable, and that is going to cause... I feel like that is going to cause some serious arguments or some serious internal frustration to happen. And I'm hearing that it's going to block your movement going forward. It's going to block some kind of transformation. So I'm hearing that what's really important for you in May to do with your purpose is... And I'm just going to say it like this. I have told myself I'm not really going to swear on YouTube, but if I feel like this is the way it's coming out, I need to just say it. You just need to hold your shit together. It is so important in May to do this, to do with your purpose. And for some of you, I'm also hearing that this is even just to do with yourself and your own internal dialogue. So if there isn't another person or there isn't another situation that's kind of like triggering in some way, there's going to be something within you that is triggering you, and you have to hold yourself together to do with your internal dialogue. It's so, so important that you master your own internal dialogue, and you master the way that you... Like I say, you play poker face. You do not change any of your emotional, like, subtleties, or I don't know what I want to call it. Like, just play the game consistently in May. Because if you do that, I'm hearing that with this Hermit card here, this is such an interesting message. I'm hearing that with this Hermit card here, there's something that's going to be shown to you. It's this thing here, the star. And I always think with your life purpose, I always think of it as like your North Star. So, you know, like in Pinocchio when he wants to follow his North Star. And I also feel like the North Star is like your North Node in your astrology. and also like your life purpose number in numerology. And also, friggin' hell, one more, and also like your ninth chakra, your soul star chakra, this like gold star, it just holds all of your highest potential information and guidance and insight and intuition and opportunities and all of this kind of thing. And it's very much to do with purpose. So again, everybody that's chosen this reading, this is like something super significant, super friggin' significant is happening to you guys in May to do with your purpose. It's almost with the Hierophant card, I almost feel like it's destined in some way to happen. Or if you don't believe in destiny, you've set stuff up for a long period of time, which has then created this opportunity of destiny to come in. But I do feel like it's almost like, you know, there's always a friggin' trickster. Why is there always a trickster in life that just comes in just before you're about to make something and it wants to kind of do a rug pull? So I'm telling you, be savvy. Do not allow a rug pull to happen by one, controlling your own emotional reactions, and don't change anything about how you're putting yourself out into the outside world, particularly if you're getting triggered or somebody's trying to trigger you or a situation is triggering. Just play poker face. Like, get pissed off to your mates or to somebody else or to something else that has nothing to do with purpose, but just hold your cool to do with this. Yeah, just get that is really, really important. And also make sure that you're creating win-wins with whatever is going on. I'm also hearing that that's really key. But the other thing as well is, it's like, yeah, I just feel like if you get pulled into this trickster energy or this trickster situation or this trickster person, you're not going to be able to hear something that's really important, or you're not going to be able to see something, or you're not going to be able to connect with something which is really important to do with your life purpose and your purpose, because you're kind of going to get so distracted by this trickster. Now, obviously, in the hero's journey, I know the trickster is also, in some ways, a powerful ally, because the trickster can show you things about yourself that maybe are hidden. So it can be a bit of your own shadow side that's coming up. But I feel so strongly, do not engage with that shadow side. I know oftentimes people will be like, oh, you got to do your shadow work, this, that, and the other. Yeah, for sure. But for whatever reason, you guys that have picked this pile, do not engage with that shadow side. It's a trickster right now. It's not what you need. You need to be focusing on something else which hasn't yet come in, or it's something that's come in and you've ignored. But this is the opportunity, the situation, the purpose, the person, whatever, that will help you get to your highest potential, or is the next step forward in May. And I'm hearing this super, super strongly. Cool. Now let's just get a couple more cards. Let's see. I want one for this one and this one, actually. It's really interesting. In some ways, this reading sounds like, I think it was number 2. Yet at the same time, it sounds similar, but it feels totally different. It feels totally different. And I've even pulled out different cards by mistake, but obviously it's all part of the way it needs to go. So, what else do we have here? Okay, slave. Yeah, with this slave thing, I'm really getting like, don't get pulled into drama. Don't get pulled into drama. Don't let the trickster control you. And I know a lot of you will probably think, well, wait a minute. I am my own person. I'm really independent. I'm really strong. I don't get pulled into other people's stuff. But I just really feel like something's going to sneak in, because the trickster is a backdoor energy. Something is going to sneak in just at the moment where maybe you're a little bit vulnerable or you're slightly off your game, so it just has a bit more of an advantage over you. And I'm telling you now, watch out for it and just do not fall for that shit. Don't. 100% don't. And again, with this energy here, like the higher version of it, surrendering your power of choice to the divine with complete trust. I do feel like there's someone, something, a situation that you do need to trust, that you're not fully either trusting or totally trusting, because this is the way to focus. They're almost like, or this situation is almost like, or like a beautiful light that's going to like drown out all the other crap. And it's going to make it impossible to engage with people and situations and things like tricksters, because this person or situation is almost so full of like goodness for you and they're so full of goodness for you because they really are part of your purpose. But it's always a choice. Definitely when it comes to life purpose, it is not something that will ever be pushed on you. In fact, quite often you will have to work for that. There's only certain people where, let's say, they have super positive, like reinforcing charged energies to their north nodes, that maybe have these opportunities come for them very easy. But many people often have quite strong aspects that can be slightly more challenging to do with their north node and their highest potential. So again, you know, I think this is just telling you what to watch out for, so that basically you can literally avoid the booby trap. Because there is this other, as much as there's a booby trap, there's a chest of gold, and you need to focus on the chest of gold, but you can't do both at the same time. You can't focus on the trickster and the chest of gold, or you can't focus on the booby trap and the amazing other personal situation. So just know that now, because it becomes a choice. It's totally a choice. And with this slave card, I'm just hearing the words, you are good enough. You are good enough. Like, you are your own mind. And I know somebody was talking to me about this a while ago. I might say this all wrong, but let's just go with it. If I've got it wrong, fair enough. But it's something about Kanye West said something about, slavery is in the mind, or something like that. And you know, in this reading, totally, like, you will create your own self of a sense of self-entrapment if you allow yourself to get pulled into the trickster energy, the trickster situation, the trickster person. But the thing is, you also have the choice to completely liberate yourself and go another way by focusing on the angel in your life, like the situation that is amazing, that is nurturing, that is supportive, and it's a choice, and you can do it. So then I'm also getting here, cleansing, storm, and east, beginnings. And it's so interesting, actually. This beginnings card is right by this death card, and the storm card is by the Hierophant, just the way it came out. So number one, I do really feel like there is absolutely a new way forward for you guys to do with your purpose. I just know there is. I can feel it so strongly. But I do also feel like there's a temptation to go back into patterns in the past. But those patterns in the past have kept you a slave in some way, in your own heart space, in your own mind space, in your own situation, scenarios, whatever it might be. But actually, everything has been setting itself up for you to be cleansing yourself away, or moving away from those kind of situations, scenarios, people's experiences. But the thing is, because life is like this, you still have the choice. You have the choice to go, you have the choice which way you're going to go, basically. Like the light attribute of the slave or the shadow attribute of the slave. And like I say, the shadow aspect is going to be the trickster energy, and the light aspect is going to be like that angel energy or personal scenario. So I'm kind of super intrigued as to know what that is for people. I feel like it feels quite exciting though for some reason. I feel like there's a lot of energy, so you just need to, if you're somebody that's quite emotional, watch your emotional outbursts. But also if you're somebody that's a bit of an overthinker, watch out for overthinking, because I feel like they're the two ways that this sort of energy is going to play out. And if you start emotionally reacting, you're going to get pulled into the trickster energy. Or if you start overthinking, you're going to get pulled into the trickster energy. And that's why really what you have to do is calm your inner emotional self and trust stuff. Or you need to calm down your thinking and mind process, and again, trust stuff. Because everything about the Hermit in some ways is trusting that internal inner guidance. And sometimes it doesn't make sense, and sometimes you think, what the fuck? But the point is, this reading is very, very clear that this is the way for you to be focusing to do with your life purpose or your goals or whatever that might be. Now, last of all, I'm just going to pull one more card for you guys, for you to interpret and make it your own, as your own wild card. Let's see what we have. Oh, wow. Yeah, cool. Cool, so if you need to, just pause the video so you can look at that a little longer and get your own message. I hope you find that really useful. Like I say, remember to add this reading to the other Akashic readings for May, because you have the general one, love one, and money one. So by the time you put all 4 readings together, you'll have your own personalised reading for May. Or at least that's the That's the theory. Let's hope it works. Anyway, speak to you soon. Bye.